Wow, it's just like real life, man. What the?
Have you ever wondered how video games are made? For the majority of you, probably not, but I'm sure as gamers, a lot of you have seen this logo pop up every now and then in some of your favorite games. And maybe you're wondering, what is it? When I was growing up, I would always be fascinated by how games are made. So when I got to that really important part in life, you know, deciding what you're going to study for the next couple of years in your life, in that course, we were taught how to use Unreal Engine. And oh, what's that? The logo I talked about like 20 seconds ago? So I think—
No! You are dead!
Now, Unreal Engine, if you couldn't put two and two together, is a game engine. What is a game engine, you ask? Well, a game engine is a software framework primarily designed for the development of video games and generally includes relevant libraries such as a level editor. The engine terminology was akin to the term software engine. In short, game engines are the building blocks for games. The blender to my animation, as there weren't many easy to understand public game engines at the time.
I don't get it.
Which, if you didn't know, was used to make Half-Life 1. Insert scientist screaming sound effect.
Stop f***ing with the microwave!
Which could be used to then help them push into the games industry. But what you might not know is UE5 was initially UE1, shocker, I know, and developed back in 1995. Just look at those graphics, wow. Such as the Source engine, which was released in 2004.
I want you to have it.
Or maybe you're better than everyone else and you use Scratch as your game engine, the clear and cut king of game engines. There's also Unity that was released in 2005, but it mostly blew up around the mobile games market, and it didn't really start to pick up popularity in the console and PC market until the 2010s. Now, if you watched my last video, you might remember I mentioned not wanting to talk about Unity versus Unreal Engine at that point in time. You're not having that conversation right now. Well, we're here now. Also, if you enjoyed that video and you like this one, it would be amazing if you considered subscribing and maybe turning on that little bell. It really helps support me with growing this channel, as this is just a side hobby, and I'd love to be able to put more time and resources into making these videos and animations anyway. But as I mentioned, Unity started picking up the pace and developers started making games like Pokemon Go, Cuphead, Beat Saber, Untitled Goose Games, Nautica Rust, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, City Skylines, Hollow Knight, Escape from Tarkov, Metal Hellsinger, Gunfire Reborn, Night in the Woods, Slime Rancher, Outer Wilds, Krusty Road, and Super Hot. But they were all wildly different from one another, and yet all extremely good games in their own way. And if you haven't heard of some of these games, I'd heavily suggest checking some of them out. And on top of that, they had YouTubers like Brackies. And on top of that, they had YouTubers like Brackies who made it really easy for many people to get into game dev with his tutorials. So they ended up marketing how you could make these high detail games using their amazing engine. And later down the line, they also marketed towards making movies using Unreal Engine, but my focus is game development, so I'm not gonna touch that. Showcasing the power of it with its new lighting engine called Lumen, which for sure allowed for easy real-time rendering with lighting, and its new system called Nanite, which, okay, how do I simplify this? When you make a model of something, you initially make multiple versions of that model. Maybe up to like 4 or 5, and each iteration gets less and less detail with less polygons. So, I mean, overall, it sounds pretty good, right? It convinced a lot of other developers to switch over to Unreal Engine. Now, a downside I've seen a lot of people say about developers moving to Unreal Engine 5 is that all these games now just look and feel the same because it's all just made on the same engine. And honestly, I don't entirely disagree. Just sites to look at and go, ooh, ah, wow, that's such a cool, thing. So if the game is bad, maybe check where you're pointing your fingers. Hopefully we can keep up that pace and get to 20k, baby. But I can only do that with your help. Anyway, that's all from me for now, so bye-bye! Dude, back off.